If the Red Sox do this in a week, I may lose my mind. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin, and thank you very much for clicking on this video. Look, things in the rotation should be changing in the upcoming weeks. Guys are going to start coming back, and the rotation is going to look a little bit healthier. The first of those specifically is Walker Buehler, who's slated to come back next week by the Mets series, which is essentially 1 week from today, and you got to figure out a way to fit him on this roster. The one thing the Red Sox absolutely cannot do when they're trying to fit Walker Buehler on this roster right now is option Hunter Dobbins. Now, the answer as to why that is should be fairly simple, right? It should be fairly obvious if you've been paying attention to these games. Hunter Dobbins has been one of the Red Sox most reliable pitchers this year. In his first 22 2/3 innings in Major League Baseball, he's allowed 7 earned runs, struck out 19, only walked 4. I will say he has allowed a ton of contact with 23 hits, but with those 23 hits, he's been pretty good at limiting damage, right? He's been pretty good at navigating with runners on base, with traffic on the base pass, which overall has led to a 2.78 ERA in his first 4 MLB games with a 3.37 FIP. If we're talking just strictly looking at the statistics, that's a legitimate mid-rotation pitcher for the Boston Red Sox. If you're just using the eye test, he looks like an experienced veteran, legitimate middle-of-the-rotation arm for this Red Sox team. There would be absolutely no reason why the Red Sox should keep this guy in minor league baseball right now, right? I understand the idea of depth. I understand the idea of having backups in case of a situation like this, specifically with the Red Sox rotation, who hasn't even been healthy through one full turn through a rotation yet this year. But keeping this guy in minor league baseball when he's putting up the statistics he's putting up in Major League Baseball right now, to me, just makes simply absolutely no sense, especially if you were going to option him over Tanner Houck. Before we continue on with the video, a quick word from today's sponsor, which is me. Red Seat Radio is sponsoring this Red Seat Radio video because we got a brand new Red Seat merch site. If you guys haven't checked out the new merch yet, I highly recommend doing it. There are some absolutely fantastic Red Seat designs that I think you guys are going to love. Throwback t-shirts, Red Seat t-shirts. We even got embroidered hats and hoodies. We got all sorts of incredible stuff over there. I'm incredibly proud of the new merch that we've put out on this channel. I really think you guys are going to love it. So if you haven't checked it out already, do me a favor, click the description of this video and head over to the link there. Or you could just go to my page, click the store tab, and head over to the link over there as well. Thank you all very much for taking a second and doing so. Let's get back to this video. Look, I've been a Tanner Houck guy on this channel for a while now. I love the intensity on the mound, right? That sort of stoic, I'm not going to let you see that you beat me type attitude on the mound. I love the movement on the pitches. I love what he did last year. I really like the person. I'm a big Tanner Houck guy, but even I can admit things are very, very wrong with Tanner Houck right now. After last night's 2 1/3 innings, 11 earned run performance, he became the first pitcher, or starting pitcher, I should say, in Major League Baseball history to give up 11 plus earned runs in a start that was fewer than 3 innings, twice in the same season. That's not good, folks, right? That is simply not a good statistic to be a record holder with, right? Baseball's been around a pretty long period of time. No one has been as bad as Tanner Houck has been this season when it comes to the sheer amount of runs he's given up in 2 of his starts. Overall, the season numbers are up to an 8.04 ERA with a 6.13 FIP and a 1.695 WHIP. That is almost 2 batters reaching base every single inning that he pitches. He has the most hits allowed in the AL. He has the most earned runs right now as a starter in the entire sport. He leads the AL in hit batsmen. Last year, he allowed 11 home runs through 30 starts. It was a big reason why, even when he was faltering last season, he was still relatively successful on the mound. This year, through 9 starts, he has given up 10. He's almost at his entire year last year in home runs through the first third of this season. It's not a small sample size issue anymore. It's not a pitch sequencing issue anymore. Something is seriously wrong with his ability to throw the baseball. The Red Sox are trying to compete for a division here. At least that's what we were told at the beginning of the season, right? And to some degree, actually not even some degree, they are still legitimately in the race for this division at some point this season. After last night's game, you're 3 games back of first place against the New York Yankees. And the sole reason you are in 3 games back as opposed to 2 games back right now, yes, the offense did nothing yesterday, but you were uncompetitive from the get-go because of what Tanner Houck gave you on the mound last night. You simply cannot put your best team on the field right now and have Tanner Houck go every single 5 days, right? It just simply doesn't make sense. So if you're going out there every 5 days and essentially flipping a coin on what Tanner Houck is going to look like, he's either going to look a lot like his old self or he's going to be one of the worst pitchers in Major League Baseball history. You don't know which one you're going to get, and you're trying to get him out of this rotation. How do you do it? Well, you do have a couple of different options here. I've never been a fan of, hey, a major impact guy, not just any guy, a major impact guy is struggling at the major league level. Let's build up his confidence by sending him down to minor league baseball. To me, that feels counterproductive, right? Being told, especially as a high impact player, that you're not good enough for Major League Baseball anymore usually doesn't do what you think it does, right? In fact, I probably would be willing to guess it does the opposite. I would assume it hurts the confidence more than what it would build up in minor league baseball. But in this case specifically, I don't think optioning him down to minor league baseball is the worst idea in the world. Because to be honest with you, it's not really about confidence at this point. Obviously, confidence is a part of it, but it's about everything, right? The sweeper has less movement. The sinker, it's either sitting 97, it's unhittable, or the next game, it's 93 down the and the Red Sox are getting absolutely crushed because guys are smoking that sinker. I mean, that was his best pitch last year. This year, it's one of his worst, right? It's everything. It's mechanically, it's pitch sequencing, it's confidence. His whole arsenal right now, not even outside of just his pitches, are doing really poorly. If the Red Sox want to option him down to minor league baseball, where you don't have to have his A game every single time he steps onto the mound, you can work on individual things and slowly see that development take place and get back to a point where you can be a legitimate impact major league pitcher. I don't hate that idea at this point, and it is an option with Tanner Houck because he does have 2 minor league options remaining. I don't think this is the worst idea in the world. Would it be a hit to his confidence? Absolutely. Would it be kind of taking a deep dive with a pitcher who only has 4 starts in Major League Baseball? Yeah, it would. But again, you go back to the Red Sox are trying to win baseball games now, right? You're not trying to develop this team to win by the end of the season and go into next year strong. You're trying to win this division or at the bare minimum, compete for a playoff spot this year. Getting Tanner Houck down there and bringing in Walker Buehler might not be the worst idea in the world. But if that doesn't work, you do have other options. You could sit there and you could say, man, Tanner Houck, that shoulder, that's looking a little sore, huh? We're going to throw you on the IL for 15 days. We're going to give you 15 days off. You're going to rework some stuff, and then you're going to spend a month in minor league baseball on a rehab assignment. That's what's called a phantom IL stint. Now, it's not technically legal for the Red Sox to do that by the laws of Major League Baseball, but this isn't the first time we've seen that happen, right? That's not the first time we've seen this in Major League Baseball. Certainly, it's also not the first time we've seen it done on the Boston Red Sox. We've seen it done a couple of times to a couple of different people, and sometimes it has been successful throughout Major League Baseball. Just simply getting this guy off his feet for a little bit, really diving into what's going wrong without having to be like, hey, we got to figure this out in 4 days. You can sit there and say, hey, we got to figure this out in 2 weeks or a month or 2 months or whatever, right? You kind of gain this ability to sit there and really, really fine tune what the issues are without really having the pressure of having to put him on the mound every day. I wouldn't be surprised if when Walker Buehler comes back, the Red Sox say, yeah, Tanner Houck's back is having spasms, or there's some inflammation in his throwing shoulder, or, one of his quads tightened up on him. He's going to need a few days on the IL. That wouldn't shock me at all. I think this is a legitimate option and a way for the Red Sox to go about this. Now, there is a third way the Red Sox could get him out of the rotation, and that would be throwing him in the bullpen. I don't know if I hate this idea, right? We've seen Tanner Houck in the bullpen before. He was actually really solid in the bullpen for most of his years with the Boston Red Sox. My biggest fear with this is that right now, one of Houck's biggest problems is he can't get out of the first inning unscathed. If you take a look at his splits in terms of innings, that third inning is absolutely terrible. I mean, really terrible, but the first inning really isn't that far behind him. That first inning, he has an 11 ERA, right? How is that going to look if he only throws one inning, or maybe he throws 2 innings, right? Is 50% of his outing going to be absolutely miserable, and then the second half of his outing going to be fine, right? The only way you can put him in is if you have a big enough lead where he's allowed to come in and give up some runs and then settle in and finish out the game. That's a huge risk the Red Sox are taking, especially with the fact that the Red Sox bullpen this season has been a bit shaky itself. You've had times where this bullpen's looked absolutely fantastic, but you had a lot of other times here where this Red Sox bullpen has been, let's say, less than reliable, right? Again, you're worst in the league in one-run games, and a big reason for that is because recently, over I would say the past couple of weeks, not the last couple of days or the last couple of series, those have actually been really good, but the last couple of weeks, I would say, you've had moments where this middle-inning bullpen just simply can't get the job done, and it's cost you legitimate baseball games. Adding a name into there who's been, I would say, kind of bare minimum here, shaky in terms of his consistency, might not be the best idea in the world. So you're kind of down to either Phantom IL or optioning Tanner Houck. Look, I get the sentiment. The Red Sox may be sitting there and they may be saying, look, experience trumps everything, right? Houck's struggling now, but he was really good last year. Odds are that he can get back to at least being a bare minimum average pitcher in this league, that he can, once again, at least be a guy who's going to be able to give you a quality start in most starts here. I understand that sentiment, but this is Major League Baseball. Right? Specifically, this is the Red Sox competing in Major League Baseball. And sometimes in Major League Baseball, and when you are a team that is trying to compete for a division title, who's trying to compete for a wild card, you have to make some tough decisions. And right now, the Red Sox have the opportunity to make one of those decisions, right? Walker Buehler was shaky to start the season, but since then, in his last 4 games, he has a sub-3 ERA. That's a guy who can come in and help you win baseball games. Right now, Hunter Dobbins has a small sample size, but he is a guy who can help you win games. Right now, Tanner Houck is a 50-50 chance that he's going to lose you a game. The Red Sox record in those 9 games that he started is well below 500, right? We're talking about a pitcher who, yes, has experience, who, yes, has successful experience, but who has totally lost it in the game of Major League Baseball. And right now, you just simply can't afford to throw at a guy like Tanner Houck every 5 days when he's in this situation, especially when you have a guy like Hunter Dobbins and a guy like Walker Buehler who are consistent, who are getting the job done, and who are putting this team in a position to win baseball games. It just simply does not make logical sense. In my opinion, if the Red Sox sit there and they say the easiest move for us to make, the least sort of feather-ruffling move we could make is to option Hunter Dobbins when Walker Buehler comes back, I think it may be the single dumbest thing the Red Sox could do, maybe outside of putting Masataka Yoshida at first base, or maybe say Don Rafaela, right? I don't know, but this is up there. This is certainly up there at this point. You can't sit there and take a look at what Tanner Houck has done and say, we could fix this guy in the next 4 days. You just simply can't sit there and do this. I'm at the point now where I'm saying if the Red Sox let this guy go through another turn in the rotation, they're doing something wrong, right? Because he's going to be up again before Walker Buehler's back, most likely. At this point, honestly, I think you should just start Sean Newcomb. At the bare minimum, at least Sean Newcomb wasn't giving up 11 plus runs in 3 innings, right? At the bare minimum, he's going to be able to give you 5 innings, 4 earned runs, and keep you at least within striking distance here. Something needs to be done with Tanner Houck, and something needs to be done right now. My biggest fear at the moment is they are going to sit there and they are going to say this guy has earned his spot on the roster. He's earned the right to try and figure things out at the major league level, because right now the Red Sox simply can't afford to allow him to do that. But that's just my opinion. So let me know in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of all this? Is this the worst possible move the Red Sox could do? Option Hunter Dobbins and keep Tanner Houck, or is there something in here that I'm missing? Let me know all your thoughts down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton. Best way to let me know you're enjoying the content. Don't forget, if you guys want to listen instead of watch these episodes, all you got to do is head over to your favorite podcasting app and look up Red Seat Radio. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seats.